All right, guys, so I just completed my PMP exam. This has been one of the longest, almost 4 hours in my life, really. But yeah, I'm really thankful that I've been able to complete it finally. I didn't get the chance to actually do a pre-video with you guys because, I was in a rush trying to get ready and all that. But yeah, so just to show you, I decided to take the exam in my basement because as part of the rules, if you are taking the exam at home, it needs to be in a quiet space with no one distracting you and all that. The rules are quite strict, so I needed a space where I wouldn't be distracted, right? So I told my family members to stay in their room and, give me the opportunity to actually be quiet and focus and concentrate on the exam. So yeah, I took it here. I made sure I cleaned the space, took out all wall paintings and all that, and cleared my space. I actually decided to use wired connection for my internet, even though I have Wi-Fi. The router is upstairs, and I didn't want any distraction to the internet, so I used the LAN cable, which actually helped. The process was fairly simple. So I came in about, let's say, 45 minutes before the start time, just to get my space, be relaxed and all that. Normally, 30 minutes to the start of your exam, you need to do a check-in, right? So I checked in just on the 30th minute mark. So my exam was scheduled to start at 9 a.m. So at 8:30, started the check-in process. That went smoothly. They made me take pictures of my, you know, surrounding, and also they made me take pictures of my ID. I used my driver's license as an ID. I took a selfie as well for them to verify if I'm the same person taking the exam. Had some instructions to go through and acknowledge that I would abide by them. Did so, and it went through pretty smoothly. The last phase, just before the exam started, I was in a queue where a greeter would sort of, validate if the information you provided, that is your environment and the ID and your picture, correspond to you, the test taker. So I was in a queue for that process. When I started off, I was the seventh in the queue, and in about 10 to 11 minutes ish, it was my turn. They validated it, and I started the exam around 9:02, 9:03 ish, right? But even though the exam was scheduled to start at 9 and I started 9:02, 9:03 ish, the time allocated for the exam started when I actually started, right? So I was allocated 230 minutes, which is approximately, I think, 3 hours something. Almost 4 hours. I can't think right now. My brain is on fire, like almost 4 hours. So that's what I did. At the 60th minute, I was presented with the opportunity to take a break. So I did take a break. I sat at my desk. I didn't move. The reason why I didn't move was that on the screen they said that the exam rules still apply. So I didn't want to leave the webcam, and that would be considered as a violation, right? So I took the break. I took 5 minutes break, sat down, just stretch while sitting, clean my glasses, just neck stretch and all that, and I resumed. And on the 120th mark, I had another 10 minutes break, which I took just 5 minutes, and I went back to take the test. The exam was fairly straightforward. Difficulty as compared to study hall and the other materials I've been studying in other YouTube videos, I would say the exam is fairly straightforward and easier compared to study hall, right? Study hall is a bit complex. Like most of the questions, they are like expert level questions, and also the some of the sentences are so long, right? But this one wasn't too much. I had about 7 drag and drop questions actually. And for calculation questions, I think it was just one, if I recall correctly. No, I didn't even get any. I saw one calculation, but it wasn't like I needed to calculate, right? So they gave some numbers, and I just needed to select, what risk, or if it's associated with a risk or an issue, or if it's just an event. I think that was the only like number related. Drag and drops were fairly easy. So I mean, those ones were quite easy. And one thing that's always important, if I wasn't sure of a question, I flagged it and I came back to it at the end of, the at the end of the mark. So like if it's the first 60 half, once that window is over, I go back and review and make sure I do corrections if necessary before I close off that window. So yeah, I have to wait for 48 hours maximum for my results. Fingers crossed, guys. I'm hoping for a pass, and hopefully we can celebrate my PMP journey, getting my PMP in 3 weeks. And also, hopefully, this can motivate you out there thinking of taking your PMP that you can do it. I've been able to do it in 3 weeks. I have a lot going on right now, to be very honest with you. I wouldn't say this is the best time to take a PMP, especially with this limited time frame I set for myself. But if I've been able to do it with all what's going on, then you can do it as well. So yeah, hopefully this can motivate you. Once the result is out, I'll do another video, let you guys know. Stay tuned. Bye.